she may be hanging her competitive gi, but there is no tapping out from her beloved sport as she transitions from world champion to making future champions. Please welcome, right here on the BNC studio, we have Maggie Ochoa.
Hello.
Maggie, good evening. It's good to see you again after so many years.
Yes, good to see you too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, kamusta ka naman? How have things been as of late?
I've been good. I mean, syempre, maraming time to reflect and like look back on everything, but I'm good.
Oo nga eh, kasi 6 days ago, I mean, if in case there's somebody watching na hindi pa alam ito, it's kind of like those posts na read to achieve. If you do not read the caption, you won't know what the post is all about. Maggie here posted a 3-part post that was alluding to retirement from the national team.
Yeah.
Which after a few moments, ayan na, all the news outlets started posting articles about it, about you ending your journey as part of the national team. First of all, I guess I want to say congratulations, Maggie, because ang dami mong na-achieve, all the goals, of course, 2 gold medalists, 2-time gold medalists in the SEA Games and another gold medal in the Asian Games for the Philippines, and of course, the other ones, the Worlds. Kamusta naman yung, now that has it sunk in that your journey as a national athlete has come to an end?
Actually, sa totoo lang, not yet as much. It's like I said, diba, like you were actually mentioning earlier, it's a little bit low-key, like the announcement, because I wasn't really planning big on like announcing, because I just had too much going on in me na I didn't know what right words to say, and honestly, that's really not yet a legitimate retirement post. It was more on about like the JJIF World Championship, but yeah, I guess it hasn't really fully sunk in yet.
Okay. Let's do a little bit of a retrospective of your career. I was reading about you. Of course, you went to the Ateneo, took up management, and during that time, hindi ka pa pumasok sa jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
In fact, you were an athlete in track and field.
Yeah.
And parang I read an article, sinasabi mo na you were kind of just you just tried it out. It wasn't something na I'm gonna go for this and take this seriously. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I was a track athlete in college, and then when I graduated, I wanted to keep fit. So I tried MMA at first as a hobby. Syempre, alam mo yun, parang I want to stay fit even if I'm working.
Yeah.
But I liked it so much that I wanted to fight in MMA at first. But I was small, and I didn't really have like a legitimate MMA weight class back then.
Yeah.
So my coach told me to do jiu-jitsu instead kasi mas maraming competition. So I tried it, and then medyo na-addict ako.
And I think you were very successful very early on. Is that right? Because I saw one of your posts na first international competition mo and then nakapag-gold ka agad.
Well, yes. Yeah. And that's why I went like all out kasi parang jiu-jitsu was like the first thing that I was actually good at. Na I really excelled at. Even just locally, I started winning gold medals. Na I didn't really experience that before in the other things I pursued. And I went to that IBJJF World Championship in 2014. That was my first international competition. And yes, I won gold by God's grace. And yeah, and I'm thankful kasi that particular competition was actually crowdfunded. So wala pa kasing national team at that time.
And then during that 2014 competition, when you won gold, ano pa yung belt mo that time?
I was a white belt
White
back
belt
then.
pa.
Yeah,
Kasi
yeah.
every time you participate in that competition, may picture ka sa podium eh. And then yung tinitignan ko doon, ano bang kulay ng belt ni Meggie ngayon? So there was a white belt and then there was a blue belt. So tell us about that journey year after year, you know, disciplining yourself to take part in all of these competitions. What was your biggest learning going through that whole process?
Going through that whole process, I think one of the biggest learnings is consistency. You just have to stay consistent. Kasi I did have that particular goal of winning the gold in IBJJF competitions every belt level. Although I wasn't able to achieve that, but then I just went at it pa rin. Kasi sometimes you can be heartbroken, diba? If like you don't achieve a certain goal. But I just kept at it. I was consistent, and then the opportunity sa national team came up, and so my goals started to change, and I realized na, okay, I'm gonna keep at it.
two-time gold medalist in the SEA Games, and then you were also gold medalist in the Asian Games. What does it mean for you to represent the Philippines and, win gold in your particular sport?
Grabe, it's a dream that I never even had as a child. Kasi I as a kid, I was like not really an athlete. And like now looking back, I'm like, wow, I mean, the way that my life turned out to be, I never would have expected it. So I'm still, right now actually, even just the entirety of my career has not sunken in. Parang ganon. I'm like, wow, God, ito ba talaga yung mga nangyari sa buhay ko? Parang ganon.
Yeah, if like me personally, reviewing your career, ang dami talagang nangyari. And like, I can only imagine like the life of somebody like for you in jiu-jitsu, like taking part in all of these competitions. Grabe, napakahirap. Now, a different transition. But I want to ask first about the black belt. Because like, when you think about the black belt, isn't that like one of the goals sa simula to become a black belt? 2022, is that correct?
Yes.
Was when you earned your black belt?
Yes.
What was the feeling like when you finally got that?
It was a huge surprise because that one was like, I didn't expect that I would be promoted. It was actually a surprise. I got my black belt from Professor Andre Galvao. He's a legend in jiu-jitsu, and it was a huge honor to receive my black belt from him because I've known him since I was a white belt and really look up to him. And it was a huge surprise because yun nga, coming off of the pandemic, parang that wasn't, of course I wanted to be a black belt, but I didn't expect to receive it that day, so I was in shock.
Okay, now your last post, which I was checking out earlier, you posted it 6 days ago according to Instagram, and then nakalagay doon, parang you had this realization na you didn't win a medal during that competition, but your teammates won medals, and for that group, yun yung pinakamaraming medals that your group attained in history.
Yes.
And you had this realization na it's bigger than me now.
Yes.
I'm not doing this for myself, but for God and for others.
Yes, exactly. So that's exactly what I realized in the JJIF Worlds. And actually one of the thoughts that kind of like allowed me to accept na maybe it's time to retire, because like I saw how the team performed and it was amazing. Like I said in my post, like 2018, I was the only medalist in the JJIF Worlds, and now see how many medalists there are, and not only in the adult, but there's like already the youth. So like there's so much ahead of us in terms of jiu-jitsu in the Philippines, and I'm excited to like play my part, not just as an athlete, but any other way that I can contribute to our country.
So with that last answer, I feel the excitement in you na parang tinanggap mo na you've been competing for a long time. Now you're going to give back to the sport in a different capacity, and you've been doing that with SOLAS and of course your Fight to Protect advocacy. Tell us about that and how people can get involved.
Yes, so yeah, I recently started my club just last year, SOLAS Jiu-Jitsu. Also one of the major reasons why I decided to retire, apart from starting to coach in the national team. So if you guys want to train with me or the other athletes that we have in SOLAS Jiu-Jitsu, we're located in Robinson's Magnolia.
Malapit lang
yes,
dito. Yeah.
Very near. So it's inside Hype 24/7 Fitness at the second floor. And yeah, we have classes for all ages as young as 4 years old until any age.
As young as 4 years old?
Yes, as young as 4 years old. We have classes na 4 to 6.
Okay.
Kasi like, definitely the earlier you start, the better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm imagining, wow, if I started that young, my goodness, siguro mga 20-something pa lang retired na ako. But anyway, that was not my story. But I'm saying that, it's a great opportunity to learn. If you have a kid or even if you're an adult, we actually have a beginner's promo right now. So, libre yung basics classes namin ngayon until January 25. So, great opportunity to learn jiu-jitsu at SOLAS Jiu-Jitsu. And yeah, so if you guys want to drop by, feel free.
So, to anybody watching right now who is thinking about trying out jiu-jitsu, this is your sign to try it. Check out Meggie Ochoa's SOLAS Club. Okay, lastly, we were talking earlier and I had this curious thought. How does one retire? Like when you say, okay, I've done my part, I've represented the national team.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work? Do you have to tell like the NSA
Yeah.
that you're done? How does that work?
Well, first of all, I wrote a letter to the NSA. But of course, to officially retire, I have to like file my retirement with PSC.
Wow.
Yes, and hopefully get my retirement pay. Because
Oh,
if
hey.
you're, yes, hopefully.
That has to happen for sure.
Yeah, no, because if you're a national athlete, you actually get 50% of the incentives that you got from the time that you started.
Wow.
Yes.
So madami yun para sa'yo.
Well-
Kasi kakasabi ko lang kanina, di ba? 2 times sa SEA Games, gold medalist, tapos sa Asian Games, and of course yung iba pa.
Yes.
Sa Worlds.
Yes. So, let's see.
So Meggie, as a parting statement, maybe you have a message to everybody watching who dreams of making it as far as you did in your sport, or if you guys are watching right now, if you have your own sport, what would that message be as they are partaking in their journey or maybe starting their journey?
Yeah, so if you're starting your journey or if you're already there, like I said, just stay consistent. Number one, no matter where you are at, whatever point you're in, if you're in a high point or a low point, you have to give the same amount of effort. And then also, you have to stay humble because, you know, pride is going to be the downfall of anyone that's pursuing this path, right? So you have to stay humble, you have to stay consistent, and always keep the joy present. Never forget your reasons for doing what you're doing, and don't let it be just all about the goals, all about the results. Always remember what gives you joy.
There you have it, 3-time world jiu-jitsu champion Meggie Ochoa here on the Scorecard. Meggie, congratulations on everything you've achieved throughout your career.
you.
And I guess enjoy retirement and the next chapter of your journey with regards to your sport.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Meggie Ochoa here on the Scorecard.